Good morning, brothers and sisters. May God bless you all. Firstly, I would like to testify about tithing. And brothers and sisters, when I first began congregating in the church, I asked a sister who invited me to the church about tithing and how I could give my tithe. And she told me that she tithed according to what she could give. When she could, she would tithe $10 or $20. But I felt in my heart that her response wasn't correct. And I was fairly recent in the church, and I prayed to God to teach me. And in a short amount of time, the Lord, during a sermon that specifically taught us about tithing, and that is how God taught me to tithe correctly. From then on, His blessings have been enormous. It's marvelous to see how the Lord puts in me that desire to want to tithe, and especially because it's a commandment set forth by God, and we know that when it's fulfilled, He is greatly pleased. The Lord in prophecy also told me that He would heal me, that He would allow me to have spiritual experiences from which I would greatly rejoice in. The Lord gave me visions and dreams, and through those dreams, the Lord prepared me for something I could never imagine. And shortly after I was diagnosed with colon cancer, I was shocked, but God guided me through dreams and spoke to me about the cancer, but told me not to worry because He was going to glorify Himself. And while I was going through this, and it was also the start of the pandemic, I wasn't sure how everything would unfold, but God glorified Himself in one of the many prayers from our sister Maria Luisa. I held on to and trusted in everything that God said to me through my dreams, because there were many dreams in which God guided me. And I had an upcoming colonoscopy, and 3 days before, there was a sermon. And I remember I said to God, you promised me that you would heal me. I have a very young daughter, Lord. Please help me. And God glorified Himself because He gave me the victory. After the test, after the colonoscopy, the results came back normal. And even after the Lord protects my life from cancer and COVID, the enemy once again tried to attack my health, but the Lord guided me through dreams and said to me to continue on, that He would give me the victory. And I even experienced difficult times, but I also experienced times of joy where I greatly rejoiced in the sermons. And there were moments in which I couldn't stand to watch or listen to anything because I was suffering from a severe headache. But the Lord once again gave me the victory. And from then on, brothers and sisters, it has been a constant battle, but the Lord continues motivating me, telling me to continue on and to be strong. And His blessings have been so great, spiritual blessings, and to give the honor and glory to God. After everything I've went through, the Lord gave me an apartment here. Everything was paid for, brothers and sisters. And I've been enjoying this new place for the last 6 months. I have testified to give the honor and glory to God.
Brothers and sisters, may you receive a very warm greeting. I would like to testify to exalt the name of our God, that approximately 5 years ago, since I came to the church for the first time, and in that first prophecy, the Lord gave me beautiful promises. And among them, He said that He would allow me to get to know Him, to know of His manifestation and of His power. And it was in this manner that I fell in love with the promises of the Lord. I fell in love with the church. But at that time, I was assisting another place. I was congregating elsewhere, and I didn't feel enough courage to come to the church faithfully as I should. And it was in this manner that the Lord in His infinite mercy gave me a dream where I was able to see a big house, a white house with a very wide and ample facade that had 2 doors. And I also saw a very long lineup of people. And as each person got closer to the doors, they would make a decision of which door to go through, whether one or the other. And it was in this manner, brothers and sisters, that when my turn came up, I was able to see the doors a little closer. And above one of the doors there was a sign for the Church of God Ministry of Jesus Christ International. And I made the decision to go through that door. When I come in, the first thing I see are brothers and sisters of the congregation who are united, singing as one, joyous and happy, singing choruses and hymns. But I wanted to see what was on the other side of the house, because the separation that was in the house, in the middle of the house, was made of glass, and you were able to see everything that went on the other side. And it was so that I saw many people that go to many other churches, and they sang, but what caught my attention was that their faces reflected sadness. It was in this manner, brothers and sisters, that when I was observing all of these things, from that moment I was able to comprehend where God wanted me to be and what my purpose in life was. I want to testify that the Lord has changed and transformed my life in a beautiful way in these last 5 years, and that He has done a great change in my heart. All of this I testify to exalt the name of our God.
Follow me. Where He leads me, I will follow. Where He leads me, I will follow.
I want to testify to magnify the Lord. There are many blessings that I can tell you about, but I'm going to share 2 of them. Through prophecy, the Lord told me that the enemy wanted to destroy my spiritual life and also wanted my physical life, that I should pray a lot, that He will protect me and that He will be with me. Brothers and sisters, suddenly a rare disease appeared to me, and for the doctors, this disease had no cure. The doctor told me what was going to happen to me, that my hair will fall out, that I will be in a wheelchair, and that my health will be deteriorating. I went to the doctor for checkups, and he asked me if I had sores on my body and if my hair was falling out. One day, during worship, the Lord told me, I am healing your body. Then I went to the doctor, and they did some tests. Those tests have been repeated 3 times, in which they had come out perfect. And I give the glory to God for that. That illness, brothers and sisters, left me bedridden. I was in a wheelchair. They had to feed me, they had to bathe me. And when I was finally recovering, the Lord told me that I am going to bless you with a job. And I was very happy because I had not been able to work for 3 years. I was going to start to work, and the pandemic arrived. And I was wondering, how am I going to work, Lord, with this pandemic? And suddenly, brothers and sisters, the Lord surprised me because I started working remotely, and I have had more work than ever. And I want to give the glory to God for that.